What I'm curious about, and this plays in very well into my next question, which is, so as an artist, dancer, performer, a singer, how do you survive in London? As someone who's been looking at London, it's like maybe one day if I get good, I'm not good, not even good enough because I'm a destination. I'm like I'm good enough. Just give me a chance. But it's more like how, yeah. As someone who's keeping an eye on London, as one day when I have enough going on that I can actually do it, maybe. How do you do it? Like how do performers survive in London?
I have two main guidelines, and
Right.
this did not come naturally to me. Okay. So this is hard work, a result of hard work psychologically, mentally, emotionally, because it is scary, it is big, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not hard. It is very
And
hard
expensive.
and very expensive. Yes. Actually free.
Scary and big I can handle. Expensive can be a problem.
Yes. So number one is I'm actually going to start with number three. Is the side job that I think you need to have a side job that you are okay with because you are going to do it a lot. And that's for me something that it was really hard to accept that I came from being a full-time choreographer, dancer, performer. My problem was not being able to fit jobs in. And going to full-time teaching for me was a huge challenge emotionally and mentally because I felt that I'm not good enough in what I do and that I need to do this. But that eventually you need to understand that it's not true. And I think that's really, really difficult because we are far more sensitive than that. Like it's not easy to get these things to.
And the dream is always to one day be able to do it full time. That's the dream, right?
Yeah, of
That's what
course,
we're aiming for.
of course, of
If I can
course.
support myself and my family doing what I love doing, that would be ideal. But doing it part time is better than not doing it at all. You have to keep that in mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the problem with me is that I am a person who I chose my vocation because, and this is going to sound very raw, but here again we are raw Eastern Europeans. This is the only thing that makes me happy. Full stop. And that's heavy to carry, but it's true. I the only thing that actually fulfills me is being a creative person or a performer or both of or one of those or any of those.
Yeah.
I can do very contemporary, I can do musical theatre, I can do a lot of different things. All I care about is that it's around a stage, full stop. That's what makes me happy,
Yeah,
not the.
it's a high, man. It's an absolute high that it's not replicated in other places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the side job needs to work because if your side job doesn't give you something that you can go with, then it's going to be torture.
And
Um,
realistically, when we think inside job, doesn't it, yeah, have to be something that you're willing to do on a regular, right? That you enjoy it first of all, but it has to be flexible enough that it allows you to do other stuff.
yes,
And third, it has to pay enough that I don't have to work too much at it. I can do the other stuff.
exactly. Exactly. And you get an audition, you've got 2 days to prepare. You need to be able to jump out of it. And then the frustration that comes with that. Because I've been at the point when I got an audition and I felt like, gosh, I wish I wouldn't get it because now I have a conflict again. I need to get out of my job to be able to do it. And I just felt like, no, 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 that's too much to carry. And that takes me to point number two, which is clarity for me. Because for a long time, I was like, yeah, but like, how can I juggle it out? Can I be a little bit of this? Can I be a little bit of that? And it all had to clear down so, 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 so much that I know that this is it. This is it. I know that I am a choreographer. Not in the first place. I don't. There's no order anymore. I am a choreographer. I want to do contemporary. I want to do I used to do storytelling shows, and that's something that I definitely am going to go back to. Choreography. I need an agent who can represent me as a choreographer. I don't have one. And I think that's a massive mistake that I'm making right now. I need to get to the point where I can find an agent, I put the energy into it. Performer. As a performer, I am now interested in MT and full stop. That's it. As a dancer, obviously, if I get some jobs, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. I love dancing, but my goal is musical theatre as a performer. These are the two main avenues that I want to go with as a theatre person, I guess.
Yeah.
For that clarity, because it clears out a lot of things, because then suddenly gigs that would come in and would want, like you suddenly won't put energy into things that will take you away from what you actually want to do. So I think that's really important, because in a city that's so big and so fast and so, I mean, I would argue with fast, but it's big and massive. It is fast in some ways.
Tube
But
strikes, here we go.
I know, like, there's a lot of things that I would expect London to be quicker, because it is quick, but then sometimes it's just like, can we just please go? So
Move, move.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
that's the side job, clarity. And then the third thing for me is self. I'm going to say self-producing. And I mean it in the many ways it can be meant, I guess. I mean it in productions and in just a mindset of how you deal with yourself. Like, I think you cannot rely on your agent, and you might have the best on the planet,
Yeah,
but
that's absolutely true.
constantly look for what you want, and find the opportunities, find the people, read books that are going to put you there, your mindset. I personally think that I want to ideally work towards having my own production
Mm,
company to produce the shows that I want to do as a choreographer.
yeah.
Uh, maybe specifically musical theatre direction wise. I don't know, like that all that can be whatever we want. But I think ideally in well, let's say that in a very short time, because I'm really on it, I want to have a production company that becomes my side job, and is able to produce stuff that I can work with. And in the meantime, also, I'm doing this all the time, like I'm using my hands in front of my face. Sorry about that.
Oh no, no problem, no problem.
Very choreographic. So anyway, so have the
Very
production.
dancer, just
Yeah,
cover the
I
face, hands, hands.
know. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. So the production company to enable me to do my own thing, to get funds for that, to work through that, but then also think of myself as a freelancer, to get opportunities through my agents,
Yeah,
auditions.
so recap, just so you get an idea, is you said obviously side job that you're happy with and it pays enough and all that stuff. Then clarity, so you know what you're doing and you're pursuing that. So that comes with, in the beginning you experiment and see what works and see what doesn't work, and then you find that clarity. And then finally, self-producing, the mentality of you're always going to be self-employed, which is, I think, out in the big world, a lot of, because I was thinking about this a few days ago, is like, I had the dream of like, oh, I just become an actor and I'm always going to get asked to do this and this and this. I'm just going to be, comfy. Doesn't work like that for most people. One, two, realistic. If you actually like sit down and think about it, you're never like, even the people that are employed out in the big world and have stable jobs. It's only it's only stable to a certain extent. You're always going to be someone who's a freelancer who's volunteered to give their skills or give their time to another company, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're always self-employed. You just made the choice of like, I'm gonna tie my fate next to you. I'm gonna tie my whatever boat carriage, whatever the expression is, in with you. I'm gonna rock with you for a while, hopefully for a long term, and we'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, you're always, self-employed in a sense, or freelancing in a sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, once you start defining as someone who's employed, if that gets rocked, then you get lost of like, what am I gonna do? I don't have a job. I'm not employed anywhere. So it's very important to have that, separation of, no, I'm doing my own thing. I've just chosen to work with you for however long this takes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're never not an independent freelancer, really.
Oh yeah.
In a certain sense of the word. In a certain sense of the word. Right. So that's a lot, and I'm guessing there's a lot of financial wizardry that goes into surviving London. Just being able to set a budget for yourself for a month and things like that.
Yes, definitely.
Um, the other thing is how flexible, how open do you have to be to doing, things that you might not want to do, or not even might not want to do, but I'm guessing you can be really rigid in the beginning of what you're willing to work as until you can figure that one out and make it happen.
Um, well, yes, I guess I think it's good to keep like because as I said when I moved to London, I was absolutely open to anything. I started working in a bar. I was there for 6 or 7 months, and then I started teaching. And then I was really lucky when COVID happened that I was able to teach a lot. So teaching literally saved me in COVID. Um, yeah. So I think yes, you need to be flexible in what you do, but then you really need to find the thing that works for you because otherwise it's going to drain you.
Yeah, so you can be, yeah, you can overstretch yourself, absolutely.